going from such a big company, or I guess more of a medium-sized company, I mean, was it a huge shock to you of having such a small staff of one? And
Yeah, staff of one is a different experience. Laura helps me out with the finances too, but I don't even know if she's not legally on the books. But yeah, legally I'm the only one who is deep plan. Um, it's very different, but it's really refreshing. So deep plan, when I've been independent, I've also been doing contract work as well most of the time to keep the bills paid. Connector again hasn't made all that much money, but yeah, there's something very stimulating to me about the entrepreneurship of just chasing down work on your own and just being part of that, even aside from the working on my own games part. You have to enjoy being an entrepreneur, I'd say. Like if you, I don't love business, worrying about business and that sort of thing, paperwork, etc. If you don't mind it, though, you can definitely get into this sort of thing. Personally, maybe I'm just a very independent personality. I do like to do a little bit of everything, and that's part of the fun of it for me.
hi, I'm Lauren with New Media Rights, and you're watching Lagged. We're talking to Shay Pierce. So, as an independent game developer, is it typical for you to be an independent contractor on other games, or are you always working on just your own games?
It's I don't know how typical it is for other people. A lot of indie devs don't like to talk about how they bring in their day job money. Maybe I don't know. But of course, I worked in the industry for years, so that I have a lot of contacts there and can just continue to do contract work with mostly friends, people I know. Um, I think it's fairly typical, but we like to keep the focus on our independent games that we're making. Yeah, yeah, I know that some indie devs, are just doing whatever day job they can by day to just follow their passion project at night. Sometimes I think about just going and working for a hotel as a night watchman or something like that. That would give me a ton of time to just code all night or something like that. But I don't know. I still enjoy working with the people in the games industry. There's great people in the industry, so I love continuing to do it even for other people, as well as doing my own side projects and independent work.
Maybe some do's or don'ts, just basics that you think that you would do over again if you could?
Right. I'd say don't make an MMO. It seems like a very common first thing. That was my first indie title or project that I tried to work on. Everyone wants to make an MMO as their first project, and that's not a good idea. In fact, when I look back at the side projects I worked on, none of them got finished, and all of them just got less and less complex up until I made this very, very simple colored blocks puzzle game, and that one actually got finished and put out. So I'd say, yeah, start with something simple and just put out, even if it's maybe not the coolest thing in the world, put out a game that is just going through the process of putting something out. Even if it's not up to our very high standards, you just have to start making things and you'll get better and better. But don't try to make the ultimate be all and all game on your first stab would be my biggest advice for someone just starting out.
Well, what happens to an unfinished game?
For me, it just sits on my hard drive until my hard drive gets fried, and then I guess it never comes back. But no, I try to keep backups of all these little half-baked projects I worked on. And sometimes you never know; you might pull out one of those and decide to do something with it after all. I haven't really done that yet, but I kind of did in one case. But even the final version wasn't that great. Um, they're great learning projects, like working on something cool and learning a lot and putting it aside, moving on to something else. There's no shame in that. At some point, you have to say this project isn't going anywhere, and finishing it wouldn't be worth the trouble. Finishing games is really, really hard. Is another big piece of advice I would say. I'm kind of finishing one at work right now and remembering, man, I always forget just how much time and how many little things.
How that last 10% just really
Yeah,
takes it all.
yeah. Finishing the last 20% is probably about 80% of the work is actually a pretty good rule of thumb to go by, at least in games. So that's another thing to be aware of.
That was a fantastic answer. Thank you.
All right.